Well, I am up at 9:40 in the morning to go see Knives Out. Star Wars kind of left a mad taste in my mouth, so I'm trying to end off 2019, a good year of movies, pretty strong. So let's hope it doesn't disappoint.
2 hours later.
I forgive Rian Johnson for The Last Jedi. I forgive him. Knives Out is an ensemble piece. It's a crime thriller. It's a mystery that's both written and directed by Rian Johnson. It follows a wealthy rich old man who's about to pass on his famous publishing company to the rest of his family when suddenly, there's a murder. Yeah, that's right. This movie is Clue. And when I say ensemble piece, this movie is an ensemble. There's so many A-listed actors in this movie, I can't even name them all. So in a mystery film like this, there's everything you're used to seeing. There's betrayal, there's plot twists, there's a lot of witty dialogue, and tons of humor to boot. Straight up, this is one of my favorite movies of the year now. I had an absolute blast watching this movie. First of all, let's talk about the performances. Ana de Armas, amongst all the actors in this movie, probably has to do the most heavy lifting with her character. She's the maid who was the first to witness the murder, and she actually has a lot of high stress situations in this movie, and her character is just always in the thick of it. She does an excellent job of selling the panic and fear that her character is always placed in these high stress situations. And you really feel for her character because as the maid who was closest to the head of the company and witnessed the murder firsthand, she was the primary suspect. So a lot of the pressure as far as who did the murder a lot of the times falls on her, and she does a great job of selling those fearful, panicked reactions and moments. She's gorgeous, she's Cuban, she's a great actress. We're moving on now. Daniel Craig also does a phenomenal job in this movie as Detective Blanc. He spends the majority of the movie doing his best Colonel Mustard impression, just like, I see, at this point the murder was committed. And it's just hilarious to see. So you got James Bond himself getting a phenomenally entertaining performance, but you also got heavy hitters like Lakeith Stanfield, Michael Shannon. Even the girl from 13 Reasons Why gives a pretty good performance in this movie. And she didn't annoy the heck out of me. And for that girl or that actress, that's pretty hard to do. The writing and character introductions for this movie is so well done. For an ensemble piece for such a huge cast, you feel like you understand where each character is coming from in their own way. Each character gets plenty of time. Even the background characters that you think aren't that important, they get plenty of scenes, plenty of moments to shine. And you understand where each one of them is coming from and how they are all suspects in this murder case. Chris Evans is such a wild card in this movie. He doesn't really appear, like really come on the scene until halfway, and he gave a great performance as well. He's just kind of like this kid with the chip on his shoulder who kind of had no say in all the matter, but he kind of shakes up the whole case entirely, and he had a great time. You can tell all the actors in this movie are just having their time of their lives with this movie. The cinematography is also top-notch. There's so many zoom-ins and close-ups and decisions with the camera that tip off the audience that this is what they should be paying attention to without spelling it out outright for the audience. And it's really impressive for a movie that 80% of it takes place just in this large countryside mansion. This is one of the most visually striking films I've seen all year because every shot is intentional and has a purpose. Nathan Johnson's score is also excellent, perfectly accentuating the most tense and drawn out and intriguing moments of the film. And the mystery itself is drawn out and written in a way that really keeps your attention because you're never bored with these characters because, again, all these A-list actors are just having their time of their lives with their script, and you can tell they're really enjoying it, so it's great. It's a really well-written mystery that gives the right clues in the right moments and lets you piece together everything as an audience, and it was really interesting to follow. However, that's where I have a little bit of problems with the third act of this movie. I feel like at a certain point, like 2/3, 70% in with this movie, you kind of figure it out. If you're paying attention, you figure out where it's going, and you figure out who did it and why and everything. But the movie keeps going on. Because you figure it out before the characters, you have to wait for the characters to catch up, and then Daniel Craig in his southern drawl that the characters actually call him out on. Daniel Craig has to explain all the mystery process and how it all came together in his mind, and for me, at least personally, I was like, yeah, I got it. So the mystery itself kind of solved itself by the end. I wasn't a huge fan of that because this movie doesn't take itself super seriously, all right? The actors are putting in work, and the writing is very, very good, but they kind of overdo it in the performance department sometimes. There's a certain scene towards the end that just kind of took me out of it in a way. I just laughed. I was like, all right, they're having a good time with it. They're not taking itself too seriously. But there's tons of overacting in this movie. That's actually pretty enjoyable. Definitely not gonna be for everybody. This isn't a very long movie. It's about 2 hours and 10 minutes or so. But it was around that third act where I figured it out everything for myself. That's when I kind of started to feel the runtime. Besides that, this is an absolutely masterfully made movie that I could not recommend enough. There are very few movies I see today that want to make me see it again as soon as I walk out of the theater. With brilliant performances, terrific writing, and a plot that's sure to keep everyone on their toes, I'm going to give Knives Out a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the new movie Knives Out. It's not really new. I'm about a month late with this review, but hey, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that, depending when I upload this video. If you enjoyed this review, please leave a like. It helps out the channel a lot. Comment and subscribe on your way out. As always, I am Pac. Thanks so much for hearing my perspective, and I'm out for now. With this light in my face, I feel like I'm the one being interrogated for murder.